Welcome to the Empower Room for Empowering Moments with your host, Timothy Hughes. Empowering Moments is brought to you by Empower Media, LLC, where we empower you, parents, and the entire community with transformative information to move mind and spirit to a higher state of well-being. So welcome to the Empower Room, and let's get started.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Empower Room. I am your host, Summer C.T. Glad to be with you on this afternoon as we continue our Summer C.T. Critical Thinking series, and excited about our continuation of the series, and we're just excited to have you all with us on today. And Empower Media LLC is a social empowerment entity, and we empower community through social and digital media, book publishing, live empowerment sessions. If you want to learn more about our live empowerment sessions, please check us out at MPWR Media LLC 1.com is our website. That's MPWR Media LLC 1.com, which is our website. And you'll be able to go to our menu page and see the various presentations that we have available for you to learn more about our live empowerment sessions that we do live. So I encourage you to check that out. And we ask that you please like our page, subscribe to our YouTube page, send an emoji, send a comment, let us know how you feel about this series, how you feel about the Empower Room, Empowering Moments. We have been having a ball thus far, especially during the summer series, and hope you have been gaining some empowering information through this series as well. All right, so without further ado, we don't have a special guest today. However, I do want to lift up who we have had with us in the Empower Room thus far, and we're just so grateful for those guests that we have had so far with us in the Empower Room. It's really been a powerful series so far, and hope you all have been blessed with who we have had so far with us in the Empower Room as well. We've had we started off with prayer, and we had some wonderful ministers of the cloth that were with us to share with us when we got started. And just wanted to lift them up again for their support and thank them so much for being with us. And this was Pastor Janine Russell, Church of the Living God, Temple of Faith in St. Louis, and Reverend Mrs. Doris Ford Brown, chaplain at BJC. We are good friends, and I was blessed to have them on with us to kick off our summer critical thinking series with prayer. So I want to thank them again so much for kicking us off, and pray that they are doing well. And we were also blessed to have with us the following week, we had Samuel Kofi, all the way from Ghana, West Africa. And he happens to be working in Spain at this time. So he gave us a report from Spain and what it was like where he is working there in Spain at this time. And Jean and Jewel Wren, who are in Ecuador, and they have a wonderful Facebook page, a following of folk who have set up residence in Ecuador, and a wonderful couple. We've had them on a couple of times, and Samuel, I call him son, he calls me dad. We met when I went to Ghana the second time I went, and we've been friends for over 23 years now, and grateful to have him to be with us, and we are just great friends. So again, I want to thank both of them, all three of them, for being on with us as we went to Spain, and then we went to Ecuador. So this has been again an outstanding series, and so grateful for them being a part of this series as well. And we are also blessed to have, in addition, we've had some wonderful empowering guests as well. These are authors, motivational folk in our community. And I want to thank them so much for being with us as well. This is we have Michael Wynn and Foundation for Ensuring Access and Equity, and Millionaire Williams, Effectual Life Coaching. So if you want to see any of these shows, they are available on YouTube and on our Empower Media LLC Facebook page as well, to learn more about what the conversation was about, their expertise. And we were just really inspired by what they had to offer in the Empower Room on their visits with us. So again, I want to thank our wonderful guests we've had so far. Summer is not over yet. I know a lot of young people are going back to school and so on and so forth, but summer will end in about near the end of September. So we will continue our series until that time. And just wanted to take a break, if you will, from the wonderful guests that we had, to really express our sincere thank you from the Empower Room with your host, Rep T. So, I mean, you guys have really been a great asset to the show, and we just want to thank you all so much for being with us in the Empower Room. All right, so a little bit, and to see if we could maybe just talk about it, just reflect on it, do some critical thinking in regard to the importance of voting. And is it important? You know, is it important? So, this is the 60th year anniversary of the Voting Rights Act being passed. This is the 60th year anniversary of the Voting Rights Act being passed. So, just to share what the Voting Act's right was about. According to Wikipedia, it was a landmark U.S. federal statute that prohibits racial discrimination in voting. It was signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson during the height of the Civil Rights Movement. On August 6, 1965, and Congress later amended the act 5 times to expand its protection. It was designed to enforce the voting rights protected by the 14th and 15th Amendments to the United States Constitution. The act sought to secure the right to vote for racial minorities throughout the country, especially in the South. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, the act is considered to be the most effective piece of federal civil rights legislation ever enacted in the country. All right, so that's how powerful the Voting Rights Act was and is, that was passed 60 years ago. So we're aware currently of the issues and the of as it relates to voting and things of that nature, and the things that are going on throughout our country, and how it's being wrestled with and trying to be reshaped and reworked and all those type of things. But let's be mindful that this happened as a result of, I feel, the civil rights, definitely without just not my feeling, but the civil rights movement, which was active from 1954 to 1968 for about 14, 15 years, that helped to push this into reality in regard to the Voting Rights Act. And you just heard the benefit of what this act entailed. All right. So not only that, I mean, there are two other acts that I think are worth addressing as well, that happened in the 60s as well. And I wanted to lift those up also, and to get us to critically think about, is voting important? Is it important? The Civil Rights Act, for example, 1964, another landmark law that was passed. And what it did, it outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. It prohibits discrimination in public accommodations, employment, and federal funded programs. The act also strengthened voting rights and established the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. More detailed key provisions that it also encompassed was public accommodations. It banned segregation in public places like restaurants, hotels, and theaters. Employment prohibited discrimination in hiring, firing, compensation, and other terms and conditions of employment. Federally assisted programs prevented discrimination in programs receiving federal funds. Voting rights strengthened voting rights by addressing discriminatory practices used to prevent African Americans from registering to vote. EEOC, Employment Opportunity Commission, established to enforce the employment discrimination provisions. So, as you can see, these to me are connected to why we need to vote. These acts have affected me personally, and I'm a kid of the 60s. I was born in the 60s. So this 60-year reality, 61, 62, however many years we're looking at in regard to these acts, they definitely affected me personally. So I feel that definitely voting does matter. I remember my parents taking me with them to the polls. We ate together. We had family dinners. My dad would share stories of, he was a principal in the school system in St. Louis. So he would share the stories of things that were going on at the school. We would have political discussions, have politicians come over and have dinner with us. So they instilled in me and my brothers the importance of our political responsibility, our civic responsibility. Let's put it like that. I won't say political. Our civic responsibility growing up. So it's been instilled in me that I do my best not to miss an election today, as I'm in my 60s currently. So I don't know how you may have been raised as relates to voting, what the context was, what the cultural, social environment was for you in regard to the importance of voting. But look at this. Do you pay federal taxes? Do you pay state taxes? Do you put money in Social Security? Do you pay city taxes? I know every city and state does not have a city tax or state tax, but if you do, you're paying into it. Or property tax. So that comes out of your check. So shouldn't you want to have a say as to where that money is spent? I mean, it comes out before you can get it. And just as the money that comes out before you can get it you should want to have some say, as much as you have the money that you do get after your taxes are taken out, to have a say as to where that money goes. So they go hand in hand. So if we don't have a say in regard to what happens with our tax dollars, are we being fiscally responsible in regard to our own money and just allowing someone else to do whatever they want to do with our money? So I think we're blessed to be in a country, in a social political environment that gives us the opportunity to have a voice, and our voice is our vote. And I believe voting is definitely how we do it. Where I am now in Texas, I remember doing a poll at one of the places that I work, and it was election time, and I was working with the team in customer service, and I asked each one of my team members if they voted. Not one of them voted. I went to a meeting for a party, and heard people commenting about how many people vote in their own neighborhood, and there were less people that voted than those that lived in the neighborhood. All right, so I don't know if it's a Texas thing or what's up with that, but the lack of people not voting is alarming to me. Again, we pay money comes out of our check that we don't even see. So I think being good stewards of your money is to have some kind of idea of how your money is being used, especially for the money you don't see. And then I would hope you would want it to not be used against you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Or it's being used in a way that doesn't provide benefit to you in the way that it should. So how we make sure that happens is make sure that we have people that represent us locally and nationally that support what we contribute to this country. Because if it were not for the taxpayers, we wouldn't have a country, because our money is what's being used to help run it. Okay? So I just want us to really think about this. This is a 60-year time frame. This embodies my life from growing up as a little boy to now, and deeply concerned. I want to give honor and respect to those that were sacrificed their life during the civil rights movement. All the various sacrifices that were made, we know. Even if you were not here and didn't see it, I didn't see it, but I received the benefits of what the folks in the civil rights movement did in relation to, for example, where I worked. I was the first Black person working in auditing in the banking industry where I worked. I was the first Black person that was an auditor in the manufacturing industry that I worked. That's all due to these type of acts that were created that provided opportunity. I also had the education and the knowledge to do the job as well. But it gave me that opportunity. It wasn't like an entitlement type of thing, or, just because I'm Black. I definitely had to come with some qualifications. That's how I got the jobs, and that's how I did the jobs effectively. So anyway, that's that. And I want us to please, as we see where we are right now, and really critically thinking about what the impact voting can have, please register to vote. And please vote. I would say vote in every election, especially your local elections. It's not only civic responsibility, but I think it's fiscal responsibility as well, because we contribute to it financially. So please, y'all, let's take this seriously. in regard to what we are facing. We have a midterm election coming up. Make sure we're registered to vote. Has our country ever seen where everyone who is able to vote voted? Everyone who is able to vote voted. Has our country ever seen that? Let's make this happen. That every person who is able to vote, register to vote, and vote continuously. I guarantee if you buy into this, not only buy into that, but if you invest in yourself as a U.S. citizen, you will reap benefits that will be beneficial to you if we all get on board. So I wanted to share that as a critical thinking moment on today as we reflect on the Voting Rights Act, the 60-year remembrance of this act being passed, thinking and looking at what we're seeing happening currently as relates to voting across our country. Please let us be critically thinking about our need to participate in a system that allows us to participate with our vote. So with that, I want us to also, with us being in the summer series as well, I wanted to share some books. This is a great time for reading, and I wanted to lift up some books that you may want to consider for your library or to read, not just for your library, because I just don't want you to have it sit in the library. I'd like for y'all to read the books and then put them in your library. All right, so definitely read these outstanding publications that I have shared. I guarantee you they will enrich you deeply. Where do we go from here? Chaos or Community by Dr. King, The Politics of God and the Politics of Man, awesome read. Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. DeGruy, A People's History of the United States, and The Kingdom, the Power, and the Glory. All right, these are some outstanding reads that I have been blessed to read, and they have really been empowering to me. So I hope that you will consider these. If you have not already purchased these books or read these books, please, you will be, it will help, I think, to empower you, if you're not empowered to vote already, to vote by reading these publications. All right. So, and to see how important your vote can be in relation to change, just like what happened with the Voting Rights Act bill, I feel has put me where I am today, along with the Fair Housing bill is another one that has allowed me and my wife to purchase 3 homes. Actually, we're in our 3rd home. All right. So if it were not for that, I don't think we would be where we are today with that. All right. And that's a result of right persons being in place politically that have come up with legislation that benefit all of us. And I think that's what it should be about anyway. All of us, not just one party, but all of us. All right. So, hey, again, check these books out. Where do we go from here? Chaos or Community, The Politics of God and the Politics of Man, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, A People's History of the U.S., the United States, that is, in the Kingdom, the Power, and the Glory. I guarantee these books are going to bless you. All right. So I encourage you definitely to check those out as we are closing out this summer series. All right. So we want to thank you all so much for being with us in the Empower Room. And last but not least, I don't want to leave out my own publication, In the Blink of an Eye. All right. So I want to encourage you to please check that out as well. In the Blink of an Eye. It is a book that shares with you my story I had when I had a sudden death heart attack, which, as you can see, I'm here. So that says a lot in itself with me being here to tell the story. So, In the Blink of an Eye is the book. It is available on Amazon and also on our website. So I want to encourage you to check out In the Blink of an Eye. It's a short read that tells you my testimony of what I experienced. And also, there's a chapter by my wife as well. And we have some pictures, and it takes you on a journey. And it's really been empowering to a lot of folk in regard to, in my opinion, this is not it. All right. There's more to life than what we see here and have been able to touch and see and smell and all that good stuff. So I will leave that with you to explore the book and pray that it blesses your heart for sure, as it has done for many who have shared how blessed they were from reading the book. So thank you for all of those that have read the book and really appreciate it. Also want to lift up justice for Quincy McMillan as well. He is a young man that was a student at one of the high schools I worked at in St. Louis, Ferguson Florissant School District, that was tragically killed a couple of years ago in Phoenix, Arizona. So please continue to lift Qualisha Jones up. That is her email address there. If you'd like to get in contact with her to get the latest information in regard to the investigation for Quincy McMillan. I know that she is still seeking justice for him. So I want to continue to lift him up as well. And also want to lift up a wonderful young man also from St. Louis that was a police officer, TJ. I want to lift up his family at this time. They did have a celebration there in Ferguson, Missouri, with the Ferguson Police Department. And I want to lift up his mom and his family, his children as well. And he's in rehab as we speak and seems to be progressing well. So I want to continue to lift up prayers for TJ. And also one other person, Jeffrey Connors, who has been my graphic designer since I've been in business and good friend. We've known each other since grade school. He is the one that helped to that actually designed my book and everything. There's the banner behind me, the book here as well. So I ask that you will lift Jeffrey Connors up in prayer. Outstanding graphic designer out of St. Louis. So please continue to be in prayer for him and keep him lifted as well. All right. So we want to thank you all so much for being with us in the Empower Room. And don't forget to do something. Our website is MPWRMediaLLC1.com. Check out our presentation page, our store page. We ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our page, send a comment, let us know what you think. We're just excited about the continuation of our summer series and have an outstanding lineup coming up. We're going to kick it off. We're going to have a grand finale with this thing. All right. So we want to thank you all so much for your support and look forward to having you guys back with us in the Empower Room next Sunday. All right. So we pray that you have a blessed day and thank you all so much for being with us in the Empower Room. All right, so you have a good rest of the day, and God bless you. Have a good day.
Thank you for joining us in the Empower Room. Hope you have received some impactful information. Please like or leave a comment. See you next week in the Empower Room, brought to you by Empower Media LLC and your host, Reverend Timothy Hughes, aka Rev T.